What's that Ferris Bueller's line where he says, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around, you could miss it? Well, today, I want to take that same philosophy but apply it to things in my life, rather video games, that I might have missed because I was too busy in other fields of my life. So let's talk about some of the best or worst games that I've missed. Dynamic entry, that's right, guys. So today, yes, I'm going to be talking about some of the games that I missed along the way in my storied gaming career here, because we all know that I'm the gaming guy here at Dynamic Entry, right? I'm not just the anime guy, right, Chris? Right? That's totally right. So yeah, some of these games that I'm going to be talking about are games that I missed for various reasons, whether that be the fact that they were too hyped around the same time they came out, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to avoid that. Or maybe I was too young to play some of them, or maybe in a lot of the cases, they were too hard for me to play, so I just avoided them. So basically, I have a list of 5 games here that I have included that I want to talk about. So let's just get into them. All right, so starting off at number 5, and this list isn't based on like how much FOMO I got from missing them. It's just the way that I've written them down here in my notes. So I guess the earliest one I want to talk about is going to be Metal Gear Solid. So this is an example of me being too young at the time to play it. When it was coming out, I was just a little kid, a little child, and mainly what happened here is that I didn't miss out on the story itself or the experience, seeing it happen for the first time, you know, like the cool boss battles, the whole Psycho Mantis reading your memory card thing. No, I got all that just fine and dandy, but that's because thanks to my dad. That's right, my dad was a gamer, the original gamer. In fact, he bought the PlayStation when it first came out and was like, hey son, here's Crash Bandicoot for you, but for me, for daddy, it's gonna be Metal Gear Solid. So many a night I would spend sitting there watching him play through this game, the first playthrough, if you will. And I know it's probably not the best game for a child to be exposed to at a young age, because I will admit, it did freak me out seeing the Psycho Mantis scene. It did freak me out seeing Meryl die at the end, if you got that ending, which my dad did, sadly. These things happening kind of warped my mind, but yes, just seeing my dad do things in this game, I was like, oh, how is he doing that? That looks so hard. So whenever I would try to play it like on my own, if my dad's like, oh yeah, you can play it, I'll be right back, whatever, I would try and I would just die and I wouldn't know what was going on. I didn't know where to go. I was too young to comprehend any of this, so I just pretty much said, hey, that's a dad game. I'm not going to even bother playing it. Even when the second one came out, same thing, my dad bought it, he played through it. I did not touch it. It was my personal watch through, like I mentioned earlier. I would just watch him play these games. So by the time I got old enough to play like games on my own and be like, you know, aware of what was happening, it was probably around Metal Gear, like, technically I guess 4, but 5 is when I was really like gaming. And even then I was just like, you know, I can't play this. It doesn't feel right because I need to watch my dad play this, because if I try to play it, I just can't do it. I get lost and confused, and I'm just not like the one to do it. For me, it's like if my dad were like a soldier, he had a sword of his own, a big two-handed great blade, I wouldn't try to go into battle grabbing his blade, because I'd be like, you know what, that's my dad's blade. Let me grab a little dagger over here and fight somebody. That is how I equate this game. So that's why I missed out on it. And now if I went back and tried to play it, I feel like I'm sure it would hold up like story-wise, because Kojima games do have like great stories, notoriously. But for me, it just wouldn't feel right. So I missed out on this kind of by choice, but also by the fact that I was just too young to comprehend what was going on. So yeah, this is one of those ones where I was like, oh, I wish I could be more into it, but I'm not. I'm really just into like the story, because as a kid, that's all I got to see was the story and not the gameplay-wise aspect of it. All right, coming in at number 4, and I guess I'm kind of going chronologically through these, because the next one that released actually was Fallout New Vegas. Now, I wish I played Fallout games. I've never really played one. I've just, again, seen people play them. Chris even, shout out to Chris, he was really into Fallout New Vegas during like our high school days, and I would come over and he would just be playing it and he'd be like, oh, look at this, and he would just roam around this wasteland. And for me at the time, that wasn't really my jam, that kind of game, and it just seemed so like empty and overwhelming, and the fact that there was like previous games, I felt like I missed out on the train, so I never really got into it. But now that it's kind of everywhere, like the show, the Magic set that came out, the world building of it, the aspect of like that whole Fallout universe, even like YouTube videos I watch here where it's like, oh, here's some lore from all the vaults. I'm getting more into it now, having not played the game. Like the story itself just like intrigues me, and just like the world of it all, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. and I want to go back and play it. But the problem is it's not on PSN. It's like Fallout 4, I think, and it might be on Xbox Game Pass, but I don't have an Xbox, so I can never play that. So my only option that I can think of is going to buy a 360 and buying Fallout New Vegas, but the vintage game market, vintage, crazy to think that some of these are vintage games now, have gone up. Like all the prices on games have gone crazy, and the systems themselves have gotten pretty high up there in price. So I don't really think it's like I can justify buying a new like old system just to play one game. Although I do hear it's like the best if you do play the Fallout games like this, and I think what they say 4 maybe is kind of decent, but from what I've heard, New Vegas, at least from Chris's perspective, it is the best one of the games of the series. So I want to go back and play it at some point, but I just missed out on it at the time. And since I missed out on that, I never even bothered playing Fallout 3 or 4 or 76 because I heard that was terrible. So I just missed out on the Fallout wave. But now I'm like into the world of it all. So it's like, oh, did I really miss out on the game? Yes. But like the storytelling bit of it, I'm still in it. So I don't know, maybe I'll go back and play it, but yeah, that's one of the ones where I'm like, I wish I would have played that, growing up. Okay, coming in at number 3, if we are sticking with the chronological theme here, it's going to be Cuphead. Now this one I've actually played a little bit of it, but I say I missed out on it because I gave up, because that game is just too hard for me. I've only ever played it with friends. I've never really owned a copy of it, so I haven't really been able to lock in. But for me, I did not own a Nintendo growing up, so I didn't really get too much exposure to platforming type games. So naturally, when there's a platforming game, I'm really bad at it. Like Crash Bandicoot was probably like the only real exposure I had growing up to platforming games. So that's not like the greatest basis for it. And Cuphead is a platforming game at the end of the day. And yeah, I can't do it. But my love of like the old school style cartoons and animation and the gameplay, the music, everything about Cuphead, I love. And just like watching videos again, like with Fallout, watching like speedruns of it, or watching like, oh, here's a like an analysis of why this game is so hard, or all this stuff, or even the show on Netflix. When I watched that, I really enjoyed it. It's all stuff that's like right in my alley. I love old-timey cartoons. I love cartoons currently. Any form of animation, I'm all about it. But the game itself is just too hard. I'm not that good of a gamer, and a partner playing with me is not that good either. I have to get carried, but even then, they're dying. So how can I carry on if the person carrying me is dying? I can't. So I can never just get past like the first maybe 2 levels of it, to be honest with you. So if I owned a copy and I locked in, I might be able to get a little further. But for me, I'm just like, I give up on that dream. I'm not going to even try. So Cuphead, I missed out on in that aspect of it. I can't be a part of the community who says they beat the game and like, be proud of it, because I'm not good enough, okay? And you have to come to reality sometimes with your skill level. And this is one of the ones where I was like, I can't do it. I want it to be for me. I love it all, but I just can't have it. It's a treasure that I will never be able to possess. I can admire it from afar, but it's never going to be mine, okay? So yes, Cuphead, definitely one of the ones that I wish I would have like learned how to play properly, or even I guess just platformers in general, I wish I would have gotten better at, but I didn't, and I missed out on it. Speaking of hard games, coming in at number 2 is going to be Elden Ring. Again, just like Fallout and games of that nature, I never played Dark Souls. I never played Bloodborne. Any of those Souls-like games, I never played because they're too hard, okay? So I never really was into it. And even the fact that the story itself is pretty loose and open world, me personally as a gamer, I prefer like linear stories where there's like a side quest here and there if you want to do it, kind of like a Red Dead, like, oh, you can go do this if you want, but you can still follow through with the story. So stuff like that where it's just like tells me a through line story, I'm all about it. But if you don't give me too much story and it's more of like a, hey, you kind of have to build like the world yourself and piece together the story by finding little pieces of notes everywhere, kind of how the Fallout is, I'm not really going to be drawn to it. But seeing people play this when it first came out, especially during like COVID, I believe, like that same time when everyone was kind of just like all playing it at once, I was like, man, I have some FOMO. I wish I was playing this with you guys, because you guys are all bonding over this game and how hard it is and how people are just beating it and feeling like, again, like this, like, oh, euphoria, like, oh, I beat this game. It was so hard. I was able to do it. So that part made me want to play it, but just like the story of it all, that doesn't make me want to play it. It's like the opposite of Fallout. I admire the gameplay aspect of it, but not the story so much. So like whenever Chris talks about it again, he's like really big into these kind of games. I kind of glaze over. It's not me. I don't care about the lore. I don't care about Sir Richard from the fifth dimension or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I want to play the game and be like, you know what? I was able to handle it. I'm not no bitch. I was able to push through it on the highest difficulty, whatever. No summons, no whatever the hell you guys say, you Souls-like people say. So yeah, never got into it. The closest I've gotten is Wukong from last year. That's like the hardest difficulty-wise game that I played, and I did okay on that. I never finished it. I got to like the last like part of it, but that was a trial in itself, okay? But so yeah, Elden Ring I missed out on, and I feel bad for missing out on it because everybody seemed to be having fun with the game itself. So yeah, I missed it. It was too hard for me, again, like Cuphead. And finally, coming in at number 1, it's not going to be one specific game, rather a genre of games, and that is going to be any sort of fighting game, okay? And not the fact that I missed out on Fighters, because it's one of the most fun couch co-op games or couch gameplay games out there. You and your friends get together, you fight or whatever, and you have fun doing that. But I'm talking about like really getting into it and being like good enough to just like memorize combos and like, you know, combo breakers and like certain frames, and this one hits you at this certain frame distance, whatever, like that type of fighting game. Like, I wish I would have gotten better at them as a whole, because I do enjoy the community of fighting games so much. Like, some of it is toxic, but that's any like competition form. But I feel like fighting games in general have like this own language themselves. Like, if you talk to a fellow gamer who plays fighters, you can speak in a whole other language to somebody who isn't familiar with it, and they're like, what the hell are you talking about? What is like a tag, how like an air tag and all this stuff that you're talking about? And like I said, frames per second, like you're distancing, you're doing certain things. That is a whole beautiful thing, and being able to just like pick up any fighting game and just be like, oh, give me like a day and I'll lock in. I'll figure out who I'm maining, what kind of combos I want to pull off, and just like the amount of damage that I can do and all this stuff like that. It's just one of the coolest things, and I think it is like outside of like CSGO and stuff like that, fighting game competitions is probably like the most hype things that you can be a part of and just like watch, and just like imagining myself being like on a main stage fighting somebody and then just like having it projected for everybody watching, and then like you do something cool and everyone just cheers for you, like old boy from Street Fighter who blocked the Chun-Li kicks, whatever. Like some stuff like that, moments like that where I'm just like, oh, that'd be so sick to be a part of that and just be able to just be good at fighting games. Like, I'm okay, but I'm okay amongst a casual crowd. But when it comes to like going online or playing somebody who's like actually puts in time, I'm gonna get washed every time. So yeah, I do wish that I was able to lock in more so when it came to fighters growing up, and just even picking like a game that I wanted to be good at, like out of all of them. Like for me, I enjoy Tekken the most out of most of the like fighting games, just because like the movement itself. I like, you know, side-scrolling fighters are cool, but Tekken was cool because you can go, you know, like the whole rotation, like a circle basically. So yeah, if I were able to like lock in and be good at Tekken, how cool would that be? And just being able to be like, yeah, I'm ranked number 1 in the world at fighting games. Like, yeah, like you can go check it right now, Google it. So very cool. Unlike being able to just be like, oh, I'm really good at Elden Ring. Like, okay, sure buddy, whatever you say. But like a fighting game, you go and you prove how good you are. So yeah, I wish I would have gotten better at that and been a part of that whole competitive scene. So there you have it. Those are all the games that I missed out on growing up or currently. No matter what the reason was, I regret most of these. I wish I was, I guess, just a better overall gamer. But yeah, those are the ones that I've just had FOMO the most about. So if you want, like always, you can let me know down below some of your favorite games that you missed out on, or games that you wish you never played. Maybe the opposite of it. Maybe like, you know, you bought into the hype and it wasn't worth it. Whatever you want to put down there in the comments, I'm down to read them and down to reply. And yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you don't get to do everything you want in this life, but it's never too late. You can still go and do these things. So I can go right now and get better at Cuphead, probably the most realistic one. Other ones might be a little too late for those. But yeah, those are my top 5 games that I missed of all time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. But also be sure while you're here to subscribe down below. We're almost at 600. And what's the next goal? 620, let's say 620 subscribers. We can get there by the end of this video if you really subscribe and share it all around the world. But also if you want to follow us down below, Instagram, TikTok, all that, that's all going to be down there for you. So yeah, until next time, guys, go get good.